Hi everyone, Elizabeth here. So, as probably everybody knows about the Maui fires, I really don't touch upon a lot of, things that happen right away because there's always so many independent channels that start talking about things, but it's becoming very clear and apparent what is happening, and there is a lot of confusion when it comes to things like this because people don't know what's happening. A lot of things that people think are happening naturally are actually being engineered, and I think that's the missing link. They think this is all happening through nature, or like a lot of really good-hearted Christian people think that God's punishing us for our sins and such like that. And what we have to not forget is within living in this fallen world, yes, everything is under God's foot, and God does give Satan a certain reign of rulership on this planet. But what we have to understand is that this system that is running the planet is so deep, and I haven't gone through that in a lot of my videos because I'm having I don't get paid for any of this stuff, so it's like I try to help out this do these things as much as possible. But a couple things, I just shared some videos. I was in Estes Park, Colorado at the end of July, and we have the seed clouding going on, and supposedly now there's a theory, and I have seen it because I sat on my patio at night watching this, that they're starting to spray the sky at night. I just got done teaching a virtual yoga class for a corporation that I work for, and or that I teach for, I should say. I don't work for them, but as I'm lying on my mat, because my mat is right next to a window, I saw a plane spraying stuff out of the back. But the irony is, the stuff that sprayed out of the plane dissipated within maybe like 10 to 15 seconds of being in the air. So I don't know if this is becoming a more sly and slick thing that's happening, but two things that I want to convey. Like, okay, for example, living here in the Pacific Northwest, when I first moved here, it would be 55 and rain predominantly almost the entire month. It was cold and wet, and Canada was always colder and wetter. This year has been a little bit drier of a June, but there is no fucking way that coming from springtime into June in Canada that all of a sudden all these natural fires occur. This is stuff that happens when it's in the 90 degrees in August. This has actually been, we had a really warm and dry June, but I will tell you, it has been a pretty mild summer so far in the Pacific Northwest. We've been coasting in the 70s. Now next week it is heating up. It is getting into the 80s and upper 80s and almost 90s, which is, I guess, maybe a little bit more slightly rare, but this has not been a sweltering hot summer like it has been in other areas. So my point is, I don't know what else to start convincing people other than they really have to start opening their mind and detaching from their own ideologies and beliefs to understand that a lot of this stuff is being engineered. Canada being drastically on fire in June is very rare. That doesn't happen. I don't think there's much history on that happening. If this happened in August, I could maybe understand. But we are entering a whole new level of reality and technological use that we've never seen before. All of these technologies, like Operation Popeye, where they made it rain in Vietnam, all of these technologies have been executed at some point in time from the mid-century or from the World War II. I'm going to separate this video into two different parts, but I want you to start to pay attention. You can go to the CNN News 18. I just clicked one of these things and I found this, and I found what this Air Maui guy said very, very interesting. And if this doesn't start waking people up to start at least questioning stuff, then I really don't know at this point in time. So let's look at these videos, this picture. There will be some, yeah, you can see the before and some of that after point.
So we expected to see some structures burned and so forth and some damage, but we were not prepared for what we saw. What we saw looked like an area that had been bombed and burned in a war zone. It was unbelievable. I've flown on Maui for 52 years, and all the different fires and things that we've had going on here in 52 years, I've never seen anything 1/100th as the devastation there. The
shoreline and pushing offshore a little bit for survivors.
Yeah, we copy Nemo. I'm kind of along Yapoko on the south side right now. There's an air Maui down along the shoreline.
Oh my gosh, look at the harbor.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say about it.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty unreal. And be advised, we've been told that 2 Navy 60s are inbound. We've also been told they're going to hold offshore.
In 2020.
Okay, so I'll probably do the second part of the video separately, especially because my phone storage is actually technically low and this just went into an ad. But I would say, as somebody who's lived in an area where I've seen forest fires and stuff like that, now I haven't seen them in Seattle, but I've seen a lot of the effects of them, at least driving through some of the mountains toward like Clay Ellen and Eastern Washington. And we're getting a point, you can tell the difference between what is natural and what is engineered. And the greatest thing that I want to talk about, because I've not talked about what the system is, the Brotherhood system, and a lot of this is being released by Jessie, who is a part of the system, and she's educating everybody, and it's starting to catch a little speed, but it's still very slowly being talked about. This system runs so deep. It is a global system, and when you see things like this that are being engineered, you have to start really wondering, like, what and why is this going on? Because there is, behind everything logical on this planet, there is something very spiritual. So logically, yes, maybe some engineered fire happened. They always use this bullshit. There was some fucking spark that happened, and then that, some winds blew by. Who knows? I don't know how this started, whether it's the ionization of the sky, if shit was out of a plane. I don't know that part. But what I know is that logically something has happened, and behind it, then you have the spiritual component. When you're starting to deal with black magic and Satanism, you do have weather witchery, which is kind of a newer concept that, I've kind of heard it, but I never really knew much about it. And now the more that I've listened to Jessie, I'm like 80 videos in on her, through this questioning everything process. This started in, I think I found her in like March or April. And so it takes a long time because she is also revealing things on a very level. And I haven't even really talked about her as well, because I can't even comment her name in various videos, because it just disappears in the ethers. I'll refresh the screen 5 seconds after I comment and my comment is gone from the public. So anyways, I want to touch base on that part. So, behind everything logical or engineered, there's something spiritual happening behind this. And if you've ever messed around with energy before and have, seen clouds move, if it's raining and you're like, I just want the sun to come out for my wedding, and, things like that happen. Like we do have some abilities to do this. It's just, what is the boundary on having that God complex where you want to be like God on this planet? And so that's what we're dealing with. The system, which is like an octopus that has its tentacles around all these areas of the planet. This is why I get so frustrated when I see fucking freedom fighters eating McDonald's and shopping on Amazon, or they're against the system completely, but they're selling books and courses on Amazon. It's like, Jesus Christ, do you not know that Bill Gates' little tentacles have gotten everywhere, from Whole Foods to the Washington Post? He was invited to the Bilderberg conference, which, that whatever happens behind those closed doors in that castle or that elite home is never revealed. And he is one part of the piece of the systematic pie. And so when you're supporting that, you're just supporting this entire satanic agenda that is fucking up innocent lives like this. So I'm gonna stop this video here and I'm gonna switch gears a little bit for the next one. Bye-bye.